I remember that Helene X was dancing on the film stage. We've been friends since even before I used to dance in the slot right before hers. So on my way out, I stopped to watch her because I always do and always have. I always would have, too, if the world hadn't forgotten itself right then. Helene's wily city all over, true pale, not that chalk wash new providers use, with golden hair. That's the part I want to tell you. I want to tell you how she looked golden right before, twirling with her back too straight to have ever really been from here. I want to tell you how her eyes and mouth were that almost but not quite shut she'd perfected. An invitation the way a half-closed door can make you want to come inside, more than one flung wide open. I wish I could describe the way her skin was pale, but didn't look like a corpse. Until it did. It began at her neck, the tight ridge of it pulsing, at first strange enough to be erotic, and then too much to be anything but grotesque. By the time the bones at the back of her neck had pushed through the skin of the front, it was too late for her to scream, though her mouth made the shape. Her eyes were wide open by then, too. The front of her torso cracked in, then back out like her ribs were wings pushing through the wrong side. Finally, the bones broke through her chest cavity like something being born, the accompanying blood an arc of spray that painted the crowd. The hot splatter hitting their skin gave them permission to panic. Everyone screamed. Everyone ran. I walked toward her. I don't know why. I fix things, I guess. It's what I do. I climbed onto the stage I'd last stepped foot on over a decade ago and gathered her fracturing torso into my lap. I held her together. She insisted on breaking apart. I held her harder. But then I was just breaking her too. Sometimes when you want to fix something too bad, you break it. The way you can shatter metal if you get it too hot, even if all you're trying to do is mend a crack. This was something I should already have known. In the end, I don't know if I held her together more than I tore her apart. But I know that's how they found me. Like a real runner, bloodied up and still trying. Mr. Scales, report. I've been cradling a glass of fuck yourself up juice from Exley's secret stash since they pulled me away. The house calls it tar. It isn't, but it's thick as gum paste and it numbs your whole mouth on its way to numb everything else, so it might as well be. And I'm wondering where I can find a vat of it to dive into when the voice comes again. Back from the edge, Scales, he says. This time a whisper that comes with a hand squeezing my wrist. I look up at my commanding officer. Huh? I said report, Mr. Cheek says. We both know he didn't. But there are 2 other leathers checking out the scene and it wouldn't do to act too casual. Yes, sir. I slide the glass away. Body looks like it's been lead piped from every direction, but there's no assailant. Everyone saw the kill. No one saw a killer. He nods, flexing the sea of tattoos he calls a neck. The only bare spot's his pretty face and the column of his throat, left deliberately empty in case he ever considers being a colossal moron and falling in love. Usually I spend too long staring at that 3-inch strip of uninked brown, but not tonight. Tonight his Adam's apple is too prominent to remind me of anything but Helene X's bones coming from the back to break out the front. The 2 runners move out of earshot, and Cheeks leans in. You gonna puke? You gonna fuck off? He holds up his palms, also tattooed, though they fade so fast the design changes from year to year. Wouldn't blame you. It's a bad one, and you knew her better than the rest of us. I'm solid, I say, and it's not just talk. I went through all the corpse exposure training the Emperor could throw at me when I joined, and that was back when I was still a teenager in boot camp with lieutenants who assumed I'd never seen a dead body. Before I'd been pulled away, I'd forced myself to stare at what was left of Helene X. I took in the damage, not just what I'd seen happen, but what I'd missed. Well, I'd been trying to force her ribs back together like she was an oil pan that had bottomed out in the off-roads. The tremors had continued down, shattering her hips, inverting her legs. I stared long and hard.